but we're going to say good morning from the United States to William Plange, all the way
Hmm.
in the other side of the world in Ghana,
Yeah.
and doing so much celebration this morning. My super duper friend. We were just talking about how long we've known each other. But I'm going to tell people about you for a minute. So give me a little bragging time. Um, I want everybody to know that if you don't know William, you need to know William. This is just a super wonderful person that decided to beat every odd and take life um, and move it up a notch and spread that thought, that mantra to everyone he encounters, which then turned into writing a book and is now at his book launch. And I'm just so thrilled to be a part of it. And so we're going to just jump in and let William talk about his story, because if you don't know it, you need to know it. You need to know how it came about. We've been talking for a couple years,
Yeah.
and this wasn't even a thought then. And now look at where we are. We've got, and for those of you that are interested in the book, I've created a QR code, which I was pretty excited about. I haven't done that before, to support this amazing book and William's journey. So, with that, William, good afternoon to you.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. And I'm always pleased to be here. It's always good with you, Lena. And today I'm just going into my book, No Human is Useless, which is basically my life, my life journey, which I feel everybody has a bit of their story in this book. Now, before I move on, I would want to introduce somebody to you. He's actually my best friend, somebody I met in 2017. And then he taught me that every human being is special. Every human being has something hidden inside of them that needs to come out for the world to see. Now, his name is the Invisible Mag. This is my best friend. Now, all of us, every human being is like this. Regardless, when you're not aware of what you have inside, you look black like this until you go through situations, uncomfortable situations, hardship, society, everything we go through in life. It's supposed to reveal the hidden secret we have inside of us. Now, this is who we are. This is who everybody is, regardless of where you're from, your color, your race.
Uh-oh.
You have something special.
We're having a little breakup, William. Not quite hearing you at the end.
Can you hear me now?
Sorry. Yeah,
Can you see my? Yeah.
yeah. We didn't hear the end of the story about the mug. If you would just,
Whoa.
sorry.
So I'll go back again. So I'm
Yeah,
saying that every human being has a hidden talent.
yeah.
Okay, that needs to come out for the world to see. Now, when you're not aware of it, you look black like from the onset when I showed the mug
Uh-huh.
like this. But sometimes you go through challenges. That is the hot water I just poured in it. And these are meant to strengthen us. It's not meant to make us go down. It's meant to strengthen us so that we can come out from our shells and bring the beautiful things we have inside of us out. And the creator, God gave it to everybody. Nobody is left out. Everybody has this special thing inside of them and it needs to come out. So regardless of where you're from, who you are, what you're going through right now, I'm here to tell you that you are special. And these things you are going through is meant for you to bring out a special thing inside of you. So this is my best friend, the Invisible Mark. Thank you. I will go into my story and I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see it, please?
I will get that prepared for you.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm going to hide this for now. so we can see it. Okay.
Sure, thank you. So, No Human is Useless. What is Hidden Must Come Out. This is the title of my book, and I'm going to take you through my journey. Now, from toddler to teen, my childhood in phases. This is where I was born in Ghana. And that's my grandmother, my sister, and then me. Now, this is a bar. We sell alcoholic beverages. That was my grandma's business. And my mom, my sister, and I, we were running it. We were serving my grandmother. So there was this small room inside of this wooden structure where we lived. And then what I do is when I wake up, I go to school, come back home, and I sell alcoholic beverages. Now that was my daily routine. Go to school, come back, do your homework, sell. Go to school, come back, do your homework, and sell. That was my beginning in my life. Now this is my school, Good Shepherd Preparatory School. That's why I started off. Then I attended some schools like Prince of Peace, Chemu Secondary School, Cape Coast Polytechnic, and then Wisconsin, all in Ghana. Now in Cape Coast Polytechnic, this was my best friend, Rick Dixon. He passed
Mm-hmm.
away last 2 years, and this guy showed me genuine love in school. Now in school, things were very tough. Sometimes we don't have what we eat, but Dixon will call me. He was my roommate. He calls me. We go out, go find something, and then we come prepare together and eat. So I just want to acknowledge him and say, may his soul rest in peace for the genuine love he showed to me during school days. Now, at some point in life, I was still trying to find myself. I was a good footballer and I was a musician as well. Now, in life, sometimes it's very difficult to find what we really want to do in life. So we end up channeling through different stuff. And I was a victim. I did music, I was doing football, and I had so many talents, but I hadn't found what I really wanted to do in life and my purpose. It took me about 30 years to even know it now. So this is part of my career, is what I did whilst I was in school. Then I moved on to my purpose on earth was revealed to me. Now, while I was doing music, I met a friend whose dad was an astrologist. He could take your date of birth and tell about you. But I was in doubt. I didn't believe that. So I told him, I want to meet your dad. So I went to his dad. All I wanted to know is if the music was really my purpose. So I went to this man, and when this man saw me, he was like, wow, I am striving to be like you spiritually, but as it stands now, you are higher than me, even though physically I'm very older than you. I didn't get all these things. So this man gave me revelations after taking my date of birth. He told me that I should forget about the music because I am going to bring people together and give hope to human beings. And that is what I was going to do. And I was going to do something for God because I have a high spirit. I could fly out of my body, see angels and all of that. I didn't get all these things. So he referred me back to when I was a kid, like 5 years old. There I saw a stunting image of a human, like a lady dressed in a veil. At that time, we church with a Roman Catholic. So I thought it was a Mary statue. So I saw that on several occasions, but whenever I called my grandmother to come and have a look at it, she doesn't see it. I was the only person who saw it. So this man referred me back to those days when I was seeing those stuff, and he said I'm capable of seeing angels and even talking to them. So I'm a different person. I'm a spiritual person, and I'm just going to be somebody who is going to bring people together and inspire them and give people hope. At that time, I didn't get all these things. I was just, I was all about music. And this part of my book talks about, I said, religion enslaved me and almost changed my dreams. You don't need any human being to introduce God to you. Now, Lina, I had a very sad story with a church. I found myself in a church while I was growing up. And when I went there, the first thing they did was they put fear in me. And they told me, when you leave this church, you're going to go mad or you're going to die. Now, another thing the preacher man used to say was, we came to this world with nothing, and we are going absolutely with nothing. So there's no need, school is not important, even working is not important because you're going to die and leave all these things behind. Now, this thing mentally enslaved me and my friends. But meanwhile, the preacher man's son was busily studying in school in the university to become a seafarer. Now, he was telling us that what we can only make it in life by staying in the church and pray for people. At that time, when I pray for people, it works. Anything they want, it happens. I didn't know I had this divine powers from God. And this man was just telling us school is not important. So I dropped almost everything that will make me progress in life. And I was in this church for 8 years, Lena. So 8 years was mental and slavery. And then the preacher's man's son was busily in school. He travels around the world, come back after 2 years, and then make rules for us. And when you flaunt the rules, they punish you because you are flaunting the rule. They say we need to meet and pray. You don't come, you're not available, they punish you. So one day I was like, no, so how long could we be here living in this state? Now I want to tell everybody that the most biggest tool and gift God gave to every human being is the mindset. So do not allow any human being to get hold of it. Otherwise, you are doomed because you don't need any human being to introduce you to God. You can have a direct relationship with God because He created you, and then you should have access to Him directly. Now, I once told my friends that no, we can't live here for 8 years doing nothing with our life because everybody is progressing. All my friends that I had, they're all having good jobs. And this man is telling us that school is not important, but his son is going to school. Then later he comes and preach that for his son, the Holy Spirit revealed that his son can go to school. But for us, we were still there. And then we're just praying in the church and doing nothing with our life. So I took my friend, I told them, look, we need to pray and then ask God questions. Now, the man also told us that when you come to God, God takes away your blessings and then make you go through a test and exams. When you pass the exams, then He releases your blessings to you. So we're living with this, waiting for God to release our blessings. And nothing was working for 8 years. So we went aside to pray to God, and then we had a revelation that the man is not speaking the truth from God. He actually has powers that could take your blessings from you, give it to his son, and then you will suffer, and then he will be giving you hope like it was going to be well when you look up to God. So we found out all this truth, and then we fled from the church. Now, when we fled, everybody, all my friends are having good jobs now, and even myself, I can testify that no, I really had something in me, but then the preacher man was getting hold of that, and it was just suppressing me in life. So now everybody is okay, is doing well, and then we are grateful that we thought it wise after 8 years, and then prayed and then fled from that church. Now this is the fake breakthrough. Sometimes in life, it looks like you're almost there, and then everything goes down, and then you go back to the beginning again, and it's normal. This guy is my brother, my cousin, who was born in Germany. He came to Ghana, saw me, had massive love for me, and told me that William, I'm going to help you. Now, when you see this hierarchy here, that is my grandmother Agatha here, and AC. That's he comes from the line of AC, and my grandmother comes from my mom and me. Now, this lady patient told this guy, my brother, that I am not closer enough as a family member because I am from the Agatha's side of the family. So he shouldn't worry much. So this guy just left like that. And then I thought my breakthrough was through him, but then it didn't work out for me. I had to go back and then start again from class one. Now, the forest. Now, while I was in the church, I realized that my friends were making it, my schoolmates were making it in life, and some were making mockery out of me. So I took a personal decision to move away from the city and go live here in the forest. This side, I lived with a bishop of a church he was a good man. He was encouraging the youth to do something for a living because without work, you cannot even serve God properly. So I lived here for some time, and here there was no electricity, there was no good drinking water. What we do is we wake up in the morning, walk like 4 hours to the farm, get some food stuff carried on our head, bring it back home, 4 hours. Then before we get food to eat, sometimes we eat in the farm. Now, I moved to this place because I wanted to flee away from mental, like from seeing my friends who are making mockery of me because they are fortunate to have a job and they have their own cars and all of that. Now, living here gave me my first business idea, which I call the errand boy. Now, when I was living in the forest, whenever I extended a helping hand to somebody, and they tell me, "God bless you, William. Thank you so much. If you didn't do this for me, I didn't know what to do." Whenever they tell me those things, I felt very good inside of me, and I decided to give birth to this business called the Errand Boy. Now, the Errand Boy is basically helping people who are busy scheduled, who do not have time to do their rounds, like getting them their groceries. Like I can see the as you see this picture, I was just going to deliver some stuff for people who were busy. Now, aged people who were old and couldn't do anything, I go there to assist them, be it wash their clothes, anything, just to serve. Now, while I was doing this, I got contacts from prominent people in the country, like judges, policemen, and these people liked me because I was serving them. And it wasn't about money. It was that good feeling that I had within me when they tell me, "God bless you, William. Thank you for helping me out," and all of that. So I made contact. So then I started selling shoes and clothes. Now we have a market here in Ghana where used clothes from outside come in, and then but you have to go there at 3 a.m. at dawn if you want the best of goods. So I move 3 a.m., go there, make my selections, take pictures and post them on my WhatsApp status. And these same people I ran errands for, these same prominent people were the ones recommending me to people that, "Oh, this guy is a good boy, he serves me, so buy from him." And I started making little sales. Now we move on to the invisible mark. This is what I showed from the beginning. This is what I actually do, but I've fused my story into it and be like, because when it is black from the onset, when you pour hot water, it reveals a beautiful image. And I feel that every human being is very special, but it's society, religion, so many things that is around us could make us unaware of these talents. But hardship, when you go through uncomfortable situations and then you go through hell, sometimes it brings out the beautiful things inside of you. And this is what I'm promoting. Now, the secret to sales success, how my nephews became my ambassadors. This is Giovanni. This is my adorable nephew. And then he has contributed to my business. Now, what I did, every business person need a hook. You need a hook to stand out because whatever business you're doing, somebody else somewhere is doing the same thing,
Yeah.
but you need a hook to stand out. Now, I had this adorable nephew. Whenever I posted him, people were like, "Wow, this guy is so beautiful. Like he's handsome, he's so adorable. I would love to see him." So whenever I went to do delivery, I took him along. We take the Uber, and I handed the product to him, and then he delivers. So people were falling in love with him, and people could actually call me because of him. They want him to come and do the delivery. They want to see him. So when Giovanni is out of school and then he's free, sometimes I go with him, and then he contributed massively to my growth of my business, and that is why I say he is my ambassador for Mr. Plange Services. Now, thank your enemies; they paved the way. Now, this is a very sad story. In a while, like while I was living, I was not working. My grandmother just woke up one day, "William, I need you out of this house because I want to rent this room so that I can make money for myself. I'm broke." But I thought it was a joke. I went outside, came back, and then my staff were gathered outside, and I had nowhere to go. So it was a very sad moment. So I had this small room that I rented for some few bucks, and then I moved in. This room could only take my desk, my single mag machine, a student mattress, and then it's a very hot place, and there's just a small window just there. So this is the time that I met somebody from the States, David Safia, who introduced me to some groups, Erudites, Adrian Miller Network. And this was me while I was presenting sometimes to them about my marks. Now, this is my wife, and I want to say God bless her because she stood by me through these times. And then we were able to get married, and I want to say God bless her. Now you can see here I was crying. I was crying because every human being is jealous, but make sure you don't sin with jealousy. Now my friends were making it. I was a bit jealous because I wish I could also get something doing, but I didn't wish them bad or evil. I was jealous, but I used it for prayers. So this was the time I was praying indoors alone in the small room, asking God, God, when will my time come? This was in 2020. I didn't know my time was going to come in 2023, and I'm so grateful. I will move on to the American connection, how one introduction led to countless international opportunities. This is when I met David Safia on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is my favorite app
Yeah, it
currently
is.
because I was on LinkedIn, and then David made a post that I'm leaving Ghana. Ghana is a good place. I didn't know him from anywhere, but I went to comment and say, "Hey David, so you came to Ghana, you didn't look for me." It was just a witty comment I passed. But he was so friendly enough that he messaged me back and he said, "Next time when I come, I'm going to look for you." So I told him my story, that I am the errand boy, I do this, I do stuff, and I do this. And then he was interested in me, and he said he was going to introduce me to groups in the States, which led me to meeting the erudites and and some other groups. So I was there, I presented my journey to them, and they loved it. And they contributed to me getting a bigger mag machine. And I want to say thank you to David Safia for this huge contribution in my life. Now, the hidden audience, you never know who is watching. Now, I always say that if you're a business person, if you're doing anything online, regardless of the likes or the comments, please keep posting. Keep posting what you're doing. Because there are people watching you, but you are not aware. So me posting, somebody had been looking at me, like watching what I'm doing for over a year. I didn't know about that. So this got me a nomination to Caribbean Global Awards, which is happening in September in the UK. I just had a mail from them that, hey, the lady just walked to me, like send me a mail that we've been watching what you've been doing. I think is remarkable. We want to um, nominate you for this award. And then that was just this, like what you're doing, keep doing it. Regardless of people feel bad sometimes when they are not getting comments and then likes. But I tell you, people are watching. So don't lose hope and keep doing. So big ups to Dr. Holder Match, who is the organizer for this Caribbean Global Awards. And I also met Adrian Miller, that
Mhm.
also was part of this group. She also saw my story. Like I was just posting the forest stuff, and then she saw it, and she was like, "Hey, look, I would want you to be on my platform." And I was like, "Why not? I want my story to be heard." So I just moved on, and it has been tremendous change since I met Adrian, Liz, Lena, all of you. Now we move on to trust your intuitions, navigating spiritual connections. Now I believe that you can have a personal relationship with God directly, and it is the best form to do it that way, because you have a direct link with a source, with a creator. That is the best than going through people who could be selfish, people who could be jealous, and who could change your purpose in life. So have the spiritual connection with God directly. Now, this is a story. I said the angel on a bicycle. Now, in November last year, I closed from work. It was 11 p.m. I was walking on a lonely road. It was very dark. Then I started praying that, God, I want to get a job in America. God, I want to move to America. And if you're going to do this for me, let me see an angel. Because I have seen some before when I was a kid. I want to see an angel. So let me see an angel on this lonely road. Now, when I said that, I just felt a wind blow. Then I got scared. But I continued praying. So whilst I was moving, I got to it was a bridge. It was a new constructing bridge like they were doing. So when I got under the bridge, I heard somebody riding a bicycle behind me. So I decided to turn so that I can give way for the person to pass. Now, Lena, when I turned, The person riding the bike was a young guy who was wearing a black shirt, then had the American flag very big printed on the shirt. So when I saw it, I got frightened because I was asking for a job in America and then being able to be moved there someday. And I saw that. So I felt that my prayer was answered. Now, when I turned again to look at the back of the guy was nowhere to be found. So I saw the angel on a bicycle. Now, 3 months after that, I'm now working. I have a job in the States now. After 3 months of seeing this, now I met one amazing man, Jeremy, who has a firm. One day he reached out to me that William, um, my business is expanding. I need extra, like I need helping hand. And then I was doubting because should I leave my job in Ghana and move on to this and everything collapses? What am I going to do? Because I just got married. But then Jeremy is one amazing guy, amazing boss who allows me to, bring on board my what I feel would make the company grow up. Some people don't allow people; they just want to be one-sided. I know this. I'm doing it on my own, but he allows me to bring on board my whatever I think to make the business grow. So that is my story about the angel on a bicycle. And this collage is something I made this year in January. I was telling God I need a baby girl. I need to be paid in dollars. I need a trip. I need to be in the States, get a car and own a house. But it's been 7 months already. I had a baby girl just last 3 weeks.
Yes.
And yes, I have a job in America and I'm being paid in dollars. And I have a trip to go to the UK for my awards. Now the car and the house has not come yet, but I know that hopefully being connected to God, speaking to God directly at the right time is going to pop up. So we move on to no one will support you until you help yourself. Now, I always say that you don't need anybody to start that beautiful dream you have. You just need to start it. When you start it, help is going to come. So please, if you're a businessman, if you're trying to do something, don't wait for somebody to help you. Just start it. And then these hidden audiences are going to come and support you. Now, turn every situations into a business. Now, it doesn't matter whatever you go through. All these are my businesses, and I created them all from situations I went through. Like the errand boy, I told you about it. The tour guide was I had a visitor in Ghana. His name is Oleg. Oleg came to Ghana, and I took him
Mhm.
around. When I took him around, I realized that no. So if I can take him around places, I can start a tour guide. So when people come and visit, I can take them around and I built the Mr. Plange, the tour guide. So all these businesses came out from situations. So when you go through situations, make sure you get something good out of it. Situations and uncomfortable situations comes with benefits, and they are huge when you think deep and then you take the good things out of it. Now, passing on the gifts, why I go all out for children. Children are at my heart, and then I'm doing all these things for them because they are going to grow up and be like us. So I move to schools and tell them my story, and then I tell them that, hey, look, any anybody, any mentor, anybody you've heard about that you want to be like, it is possible because they were once like you, and then they are what you think they are now. So you can also be like them when you take your book seriously, when you try to live a good life and you add God to it, you're going to be more than even them because no human being is a superhuman being. We are all human beings. So whatever you've seen somebody achieve, you can also get the same thing. So I go to schools, me writing a book, selling my t-shirts. I use some of the proceeds to visit these schools and I make donations to them. And this is why I'm passing my gifts to children. I love children. Now, my achievement, I've been featured on a Times Square billboard, which I had no idea how that could be possible. Most musicians here in Ghana are dying to be on this billboard, but I'm on there. I paid $0 thanks to Liz and the Erudites group. Now I have won the award, Caribbean Global Award. I have won it. Um, I've been on Times Square. I'm co-authoring a book. Like there's a collaboration in Australia which I'm part of, and also there's an invitation to Canada to speak at a festival called Jankanu Festival. Now, this is my story from nothing to progress now, and I just want everybody, every human being, to know that they are special, regardless of where they are, they are, their color. It doesn't matter wherever you are from, because I didn't ever think that from Ghana, living in the forest and all of that, I could get an international recognition. So I just want to encourage everybody that you are special regardless, and anything you go through in life, pick up the positive part, because there's always a positive side of it. Pick it up and use it for your good. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's an
Yeah.
awesome story. Incredible. And I think it's still just the beginning of the story, right? I
Yes.
mean, this is just the beginning, and yet so many things have happened. Um, you talked about going through and going to school and having to, and this person was telling you not to go to school and not to use your gifts. William, did anyone ever say it was that kind of like a cult type of situation? What kind of person does that? Like that wasn't a church,
It was
so
a church.
it was a church.
It was a
Wow.
church, yes. And
Yeah.
the preacher man, later we find out that he was just selfish. He was
Yeah.
just selfish. He wanted the good things for himself, so that he wanted the numbers in the church. So when we get good jobs to do, probably we will not be able to come to church regular.
Right.
So the numbers is going to reduce, and that's what later we found out that he was trying to do. But through it all, we learned a lesson from that, and then we are telling the story. Same people are still there right now, and
Yeah.
then they are still in that situation. Same church, and now the man is telling them that we have been picked up by the devil. The devil is now using us. That is why we have left God, we've left the church, and we are just living our life. But it's up to them. I try to convince people who I get a chance to tell them that, hey,
Yeah.
you can know God personally, and then do your own, like your own work, and then help society. Don't listen to them, because the man is working. He is not sitting at home. He is working. So why do you tell us that we should just sit in the church and pray for people while you're working? Your son is going to school and all of that. It's a sad situation.
I think we talked about at one time having to like walk through the forgiveness side of that. And I think you had talked about how you had, kind of learned how to get past the animosity and appreciate that it was a terrible lesson, but that how much it kind of gave you the vision of what real truth is and how to, know what to believe that's real. I think we might be stuck for a sec. How, William?
Hello, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we were stuck
Yeah,
for a minute. Yeah.
yes, yeah. So about forgiveness, that is,
Uh-huh.
thank your enemies because they paved the way. Now, when my grandmother moved me out of the house, I was very bitter. I was just saying a lot of stuff. But later I realized that no, she actually helped me. And I need to be thankful to her, because if she hadn't taken that decision, I would still be living in my that small room in my family house, and probably not even married. But when I moved out to that small room, I challenged myself that, hey, I need to do well to move out from this place to a better place. So big shout outs to my grandmother. I want to say thank you to her. And then I want to encourage people, when people do you wrong, it doesn't mean hate them. Sometimes God can even use them to push you into another situation for God to bless you. Because, like, hey, look, when you're living in a house, God wants you to move out of the house to go to a better place. But when God is letting you know, you'll be feeling reluctant because you are comfortable there. Now, all of a sudden, there's a fire outbreak, your house gets burned. You'll be forced to move to the place that God wants to take you now. So sometimes when people wrong us, we should just be thankful, and then take the positive part of it, not the negative. There's no need to hate them, because in actual sense, they actually helped you grow to become a better person.
Wow. It's such a fantastic lesson. And so I take it then you still get along good with your grandmother too. Well, y'all, we're having a little slow uptick on the Wi-Fi from all the way across the world. So while we're a bit
Just
frozen,
frozen
I've put
again.
the
Oh,
QR code up.
yeah, yeah.
Please be
I'm
sure
back.
to go and okay, William, I was telling everyone to be sure to grab the QR code so that they can get to Amazon to
Yeah.
your book to support this launch. Super excited about that. I think you are going on your first plane ride soon to go to the UK.
Yes. Yes. For the award.
Are you excited about that?
Yes, I am. At least from nothing to this, like, it's beyond my imagination. Yeah.
So
I'm
when do you
so
think you're
excited.
going to get to the United States? Next year?
Next year,
2024?
next year, next year I
Yeah,
should be there. Yeah, I'm confident.
great,
Next year I'll be there. Next year.
great.
Yeah.
That is great. You started your job with in the US like about this in 2023, right? Beginning of the
Yes,
year?
I started in March this year.
That is great. And what do you
And
do?
so we help people get meetings to um, prospects who they find difficult to get. So we do customized cards, we send gifts to it, and it really works. It really works, because imagine I just send you a card that has your face
Uh-huh,
on it, your favorite quote, what
uh-huh.
you love to do. I have everything printed in it. I send you a message, topped it up with a gift, a special gift to you. You would love to even meet me and be like, wow, it really works. So we
Yeah.
do it's coin flip market. We uh, um, we help people get.
Then you're frozen again. There we go.
That's Ghana for you. Oh,
Yeah. It's a it's a
mhm,
signal is starting to get
mhm,
bad. We're getting you're starting to freeze a lot.
yeah.
But I think that's fantastic. You should share your company as well. Go back in the chat. Be sure to, for those that have watched this morning, be sure to connect with William and get to know him. William, what's the next step? Like, you've got the book launch. You're going to the UK,
Yeah.
planning on
So yeah.
US.
So in UK, I'll try. I'm going to meet some group, Erudite London group,
Yeah,
speak to them. And when I return in Ghana, I am going to visit more schools, more churches, because it's high time we educate people on how they can get closer to God and not depend on some selfish preacher men. Because these some preacher men are changing the purpose of people, because there are people who are supposed to be great people, but they are using the name of God to change the rightful purpose of these people, like from who God wants them to be. These preacher men are just changing their purpose, and I'm just going to go on tour in Ghana when I come back, especially churches, and then highlight,
yeah,
enlighten them on knowing God on a personal personal bean.
We got some of that. We got we got some of that, William. But I'm excited for your tour. I know you're going to keep us all up to date. I know that you are lacking a lot of sleep with that sweet baby that's on U.S. time instead of our time.
Yeah, baby wakes up. Baby wakes up at 1 a.m. when
Oh,
we are all
God.
sleeping. So I was telling you that I think she's using the US time because I wanted to have her in US. So she's using the US time.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
Well, I want to thank you so much for spending part of your Saturday together. It's always wonderful for us to catch up and
Yeah,
see
yeah,
one another. And I think we have a lifelong friendship for sure. Um, and
yeah,
I got to write the foreword for your book. That was super
yeah,
cool.
yes. And I
Yeah,
love it. I love it.
yeah,
It was too genuine. Like I don't know, too genuine because you knew the beginning. So
yeah.
it's. Thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah. We hit it off right away. Definitely a special relationship. And then you showed me that mug and killed me. So, so I got to be a lot of first with you in the U.S. and that was wonderful. So, super excited. Oh, and for your
And,
be sure you
and
put your what?
that's that's
Oh, we were just breaking up so bad.
wow.
Oh, sorry, William. It keeps breaking up a lot. We still have the screen present, but I
Yeah.
can hear your voice. But yeah, my buddy. So I want you to make sure, like, the t-shirts are still for sale, right? So
Yes, they are.
put that link in the chat. Feel free
Okay.
to be sure you put your links to any connections and to your um, like for your work, for the marketing and everything, so that people can connect with you on multiple
Okay.
ways. And I'm going to let you go so you can get some good rest and be with your family. But we can't wait to hear more. And I'm sure we'll jump back on after your
Sure.
trip because I got to know
Sure.
all about it. So,
Sure. We're going to have that. Thank you
yes,
so much for
yes,
having me.
yes, my friend. Take
Mm.
care. And
You
look,
too.
don't go anywhere. Just stay. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll have this reposted so that you can watch again.